Good morning, friends. Today I am here with Pollution of Air and Water, Part 3 of 8th Standard. In today's session, we are going to discuss water pollution, water pollutant, case study Ganga Action Plan, control of water pollution, potable water, purification of water, and 3 R's. So let us start the session. As we know that water is very precious. Life is not possible without water. It is required for many activities of life. But nowadays, water is getting polluted due to several activities like washing, bathing, cleaning, etc. Thus, whenever some harmful, undesirable substances are added to water and it makes the water unfit for drinking as well as for other uses, then it is called as water pollution. Due to water pollution, physical, chemical and biological property of water changes. So thus I hope that it is clear that what is water pollution. In this figure, you may observe how water is getting polluted. In the given figure, you may observe water is being polluted due to release of wastewater in the water bodies. Now the next topic is water pollutants. Water pollutants are those substances which are responsible for polluting water. The main water pollutants are sewage, that is liquid waste, toxic chemicals, silt, effluents. Effluents means they are those wastewater which are released from the industries, from the factories, etc. This figure depicts about sewage getting discharged into water bodies. Sewage is the liquid waste that comes out from our homes, schools, offices, etc. These are the toxic chemicals which are very harmful and are responsible for polluting water. Silt means the small size soil particles are also causing water pollution and it also decreases the depth of the water bodies. In this figure, it is about effluents which releases from the industries and factories and causing water pollution. Now let us know about case study Ganga Action Plan. You all know that Ganga is one of the most famous rivers of India. It sustains most of the northern, central and eastern Indian population. Millions of people depend on it for their daily needs and livelihood. But recently, according to Worldwide Fund for Nature, that is WWF, it was found that Ganga is one of the 10 most endangered river in the world. It is becoming polluted day by day for many years. The reason for pollution of Ganga is that the people of towns and cities through which Ganga is flowing, they may used to throw large amount of garbage, untreated sewage, dead bodies and many harmful toxic chemicals. The pollution level of Ganga at some places is increased to such a extent that it is called as dead. Dead means no living organisms can able to survive at these places. So in the year 1985, an ambitious plan were taken to save the river, and it was called as Ganga Action Plan. The main aim of Ganga Action Plan is to reduce the pollution level of holy Ganga. In this figure, you may visualize about the different activities done by human which are quite enough to pollute the river. In this figure, it also depicts about pollution of Ganga. Now the next topic is control of water pollution. Water pollution can be controlled by several human activities which he used to do. We should not wash or bath near the water source or water bodies. We should not defecate near water source or in the river. We should not throw garbage, flowers, idols of God and goddess and non-biodegradable polythene bags into the river. All these substances are responsible for polluting water. Release of toxic chemical waste like fertilizer, detergent, etc. into the river should be prohibited. Effluents from industries and factories should be treated before putting into the water source, because effluents contain heavy toxin or heavy toxic metals like arsenic, lead and also fluorides. These substances lead to toxicity in plants and animals. Here in this figure, you can see that how sewage, that is liquid waste, is treated in sewage treatment plant. There are two types of treatment. One is the physical treatment, another is the biological treatment. So here you can see in primary treatment only it do not require any microbes for the treatment, but in case of this secondary treatment, that is biological treatment, it requires some microbes for treating the wastewater. In higher classes you will study in detail. Now our next topic is potable water. Potable water means water which is clean and is suitable for drinking. There are different methods by which water can be made potable. The two main methods include physical and chemical methods. Here you can observe potable water coming out from tap in your home. Let us discuss how purification of water is done. There are different methods for purifying water. First is by filtering, which is a physical method. In house, it is very commonly used method. A common household filter is a candle type filter. Another method is by boiling water, which helps in killing the germs which is present in water. It is also a physical method. Another method is chlorination. It is also a common method which is used to purify water. In this case, chlorine tablets or bleaching powder is added to purify water. So we are using some chemical substances, so that is why it is called as chemical method. In the given figure, you can observe candle filter to purify water. This is also a water purifier which helps in purification of water. Now, our last topic of today's session is reduce, reuse and recycle. That is 3 R's. We should save water and do not waste water at our individual level. So reduce, reuse and recycle should be our mantra. We have to think some creative ideas like reusing water for washing and for other household tasks. For example, water used for washing vegetables can be used to water plants in your garden. Why? Because the water can be reused, and whenever you washed vegetable, so that will be also useful for your plant. That water is very nutritious, containing minerals also, so that is useful to your plants. Thank you. For any kind of doubts, please write your question in comment section.